for English subtitle. Push the subtitle button.
Hallo zu einer neuen Reptil-TV-Folge. Die Räumlichkeiten um mich herum kennt ihr vielleicht schon. Ich bin bei Kevin McCurley, New England Reptile Distributors, einmal um die halbe Welt. Mein Intro-Tierchen, natürlich eine Farbvariante, wie sollte es anders sein bei Kevin, T- Blutpython, also der Python Curtus Brongosmai, oder ich glaube mittlerweile nur noch Brongosmai, T- Albino, super hübsches Tier. Mein Intro-Tierchen für heute, by the way, die Curtus oder die Blutpythons generell können wirklich tolle, brave Terrarientiere sein, wie man hier sieht. Manchmal ein bisschen falscherweise verschrien als aggressiv oder so. Mein Intro-Tierchen für heute. Ansonsten gibt es wieder eine super Folge beim Kevin. Wirklich echt interessant. Ich würde fast sogar sagen, inspirierend. Schaut rein, das wird echt gut. So since when you work with the Bolinis? Or I think you started many years ago, no?
Yes, I love boneless pythons. Let's get her out. Come here. We'll take her in the other room.
This is adult female.
Yes, this is an adult female boneless python. And obviously, probably like most other people, we think boneless pythons are ridiculous and wonderful and a bucket list species. They're definitely challenging, and they're challenging to the point of actually getting good stock. If you're even lucky enough to get them, getting good, healthy stock, getting animals that eat that are all captive born. You know, getting captive born animals means you're going to pay a lot of money. And slowly but surely, I've been amassing a group of various lineage of captive animals and raising them from little babies. And you end up with this wonderful adult. And she's about 6 years old now. And she's she's never even been bred yet, this one. And she's just coming up on, I think the condition. We would actually breed them, but I love them. They're such a challenge. Certainly just keeping them long-term is a challenge. We don't always appreciate, what these things want, their temperature requirements. Obviously they can tolerate cooler temperatures. That's why they're black. They live in the highlands. It even is, said to snow there, but they certainly get cold. They spend a lot of time underground. So they're very much a lot like a timber rattlesnake. Like our timber rattlesnakes locally, they'll spend a lot of time underground, and a lot of our timbers are black. And they're black, so they attract all the infrared energy from the sun. And these things are no different. When they're babies, they're red. As babies, they really want to eat birds. They're obsessed with birds. So I've had to, just dealing with the babies and getting them eventually onto rodents, because let's face it, rodents are what we want to feed these guys. And they're very keyed into the temperature of the meal. The meal needs to be really hot. These guys are semi-arboreal. So when they're little, I keep them pretty much like a green tree python or a jungle carpet or something like that. They'll spend a lot of time just sitting on their perches. But as they get bigger, they'll still be arboreal, but you always worry about them getting hurt. And another little thing is they're also kind of cannibalistic. I've had 2 males I've lost to a female. It was horrible. And I didn't know who it was at first, the first time. And then the second time, I caught her doing it, and it was terrible.
Killing the male. And
killed and constricted the male.
Okay.
Just out of the blue. You know what else actually does that is Papuan pythons. I've bred Papuan pythons 3 times, and putting them together is always like, oh my God, what's it gonna like? Because they'll attack each other. They could be together for a week and a half, and then one day you walk into an explosion, and they're in this horrible giant ball, and they're incredibly strong. And I'd say that boneless pythons are very closely related to the Papuans.
Let's have a look for a smaller one.
Yes, we'll get them.
See the baby color.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a little baby Boelen's python. So when they're born, they are even redder than this, and they're small, almost like a carpet python. And even though their overall size is more significant than a carpet python, the babies are pretty small. So this has a fair bit of size from being a baby.
So that one is a few months old, or how?
No. This is so January, March.
From March.
April, May. Yeah. So it's
a few months, so like a half year.
Look, a few months to me is 3, 4 months maybe.
Okay, so it's
There's a lot of work to get this to
6
that.
months, okay.
Yeah, there you go. So,
Uh-huh.
and this is, but now it's eating rodents. Another thing is, I try not to feed them too much. They have an ultra fast metabolism. They process food so much. So I kind of feeding is 1 to 2 times a week. And this eats.
You say once or 2 times a week?
Yeah, 1 to 2 times. But it's amazing.
But this is a lot, or not? Like, at least for Europeans, in Europe we feed once a week, you know?
Okay, if you see their metabolism, they process this stuff fast. I mean, this animal will eat, and 5 days later, it might poop that out, which is pretty quick for a python.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a colubrid, but I think it has to do with, they're a mountainous species, and they live in a tough place, so they max out what.
Maybe the time of the year where they feed is short, so during this period they need to eat a lot.
Yeah, and they want to eat
the hibernation.
Birds. And all these things, but they really have a super efficient metabolism, and this is just getting the stage where I can start giving it bigger meals and all that. I'm just not raising them too quick. I think, I've raised various Boelen's pythons, and sometimes these guys will get you because you'll think you've figured something out, and then they find out they're like, no, that's not right. So raising them slower, I think probably maturity on these is probably 5 years to be safe. It might be on the short side, it might be certainly 3 years on a male, no problem. Getting a male to breed and all that is no problem.
And what size of mice you feed now?
This will actually this is actually eat a young adult mouse.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And it's little. This is a litter mate. So it's hard to actually appreciate how long that animal is when you see it all coiled up. This one might be coming up on about 3 years. And it's really at the stage where the growth is going to be exceptional. And believe it or not, to get an animal, let's say I had a reticulated python. And the reticulated python is bigger when it's born. But if I took a reticulated python and the amount of food that I actually have to put into to get a retic this big, I have to put way more food into this Boelen's python to make it this big.
Okay.
It's absolutely crazy how much food it actually takes. And I don't know why, but it's a very different thing. This is a lot of food to get this big. I mean, probably 3 times as much food to get that big than a retic.
Than a retic?
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Okay.
They're just such a
beautiful,
mysterious species that leaves us with a lot of questions. Definitely very intelligent. They recognize you very well. They tend to get very spoiled. If you put a lot of time into them and babying them, they'll get really spoiled about what they eat. And it has to be just the right temperature, and it has to be that. I never feed like any of this live. So since these were born, they've never, ever eaten a live meal in their life. Everything has always been frozen.
Okay. Why you see an advantage?
Well, when they're babies, they want to eat quail. And I don't feed live quail, and certainly they're too small to eat like a chick. So I started out, believe it or not, like chick heads and quail, like little defrosted quail. And then from that, I transitioned on to rodents, but I've never offered live rodents to them. Okay. And I just, like, none of my Boelen's pythons, and it was a good little group, none of them have ever fed on live.
Okay.
No bites, no nothing.
Now we come to the
I love water monitors. I have lots and lots and lots of these wonderful creatures.
Varanus servator, right?
Yes, this is Sumbawa locality. This is a hypo. Sumbawa, and very small growing, slower growing. They breed less frequently than some of my other Salvatores, but I think I'm the only person ever to make, you know, pure ones or whatever.
Well, what do you mean less frequently?
Yeah,
like,
so they'll, at
not
best,
once a year, or
once or twice a year. That's all you're going to get.
yeah,
for your
even
eggs,
twice a year.
if you're lucky.
Okay.
Whereas some Salvatores 3 to 4 clutches a year.
Yeah.
Depending
didn't
what
know.
this
Okay.
locality. So I specialize in some of the smaller locality stuff, and I notice some of the smaller locality stuff is not as prolific. But you can see this wonderful little brain. When these guys come out of the egg, they're kind of crazy. These are Sumbawas. So these are literally, this is F1 right here, but this is a very responsive, wonderful little animal, and I make great friends with them. And you make it so you can touch
And the color
them.
is hypomelanistic,
Yeah,
so
this
he's
is,
a
yeah.
recessive
It's
hypogene.
I don't know if I want to call it recessive. It's just, it's in my original lineage was really exceptional for me to, you know, what I started with, and I got this like hypo-y ones that looked way better than the average Sumbawas. So we just call it Hypo Sumbawa, but it's we bred them together and we made these really, some of them are just fantastically yellow, just awesome. But I was just grabbing a random one, and you can just see the tongue flicking, just that frequency of tongue flicking. This animal is totally enjoying this. And you pet him on the face, and he loves it. And this is what it's all about. You want to have this animal that has no interest in biting.
Yeah.
Ever. And then I can bring out, like, here's a little T positive. You want to come here? I know. And these change quite a bit when they're adults. Hi.
So that's a T plus
T
albino.
positive. Yep. T positive. Yep. So tyrosinase positive. So it still makes some melanin different than our amelanistic albinos. The problem with amelanistic albinos is to some degree they're vision impaired because they don't have melanin in their pupil. So it makes like vision. They don't see probably with the detail. I think like a T positive or even a coral albino, which is the T negative albino and the T positive, they occur at the same locus site. So it's the culmination of the T negative and T positive gene. And since there's a little bit of melanin in those, their eyesight's actually really good too.
Okay. So if you breed T negative plus T positive, you get a
coral albino?
coral.
Coral. So coral looks like, they look a lot like the other ones. That's
Okay.
a coral albino. So, I mean, they vary a lot, but almost looks literally the same. And when
Yeah.
they're babies, it just looks kind of like maybe a little bit more exceptional T positive. When I was first making them, it was very hard to even assess who was who. But with the monitors, besides their paint jobs, I'm very interested in the behaviors. Like this, these animals know you by sight, they know you by voice, and they know you by smell. And you can have an incredibly bonding relationship with one of these. It's almost like having your pet African gray parrot, but it's actually a lizard.
Okay.
They're just absolutely
Yeah,
ridiculous
yeah.
and remarkable. And like I said, we're up to about 6 generations removed from the wild, making small ones. But Varana salvatore, Asian water monitors, are easily one of my most rewarding species I get to work with because they're little brains. We can go play with the big albino if you want.
Yeah. Yeah. This would be. So you have this hypo, the T negative,
Yeah, so
T
I
positive.
make black dragons. I make het ivories. I want to make the ivory the white one. I make T positives.
Well, what do you mean het ivory? How
like-
do you know?
Well, they're offspring of like white dragons.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just talking about some of the different genes that I work with.
Yeah.
So amelanistic albino, T positive, the amelanistic T positive combo. I have sulfurs, black dragons, Sumbawas, ivory, Hypocelebensis, celebensis, Madura. Let me think.
Okay.
Makassar.
I guess most of the names, actually,
Yeah.
I don't even know, and the community won't know. But
Yeah,
okay.
but I have a
At
lot of water monitors. I'm
least
very
we
much
heard
into
it.
water monitors.
Okay, nice.
And you got these guys you can do pretty much anything with. Because once they're socialized and they know where you're at, you can have this great relationship. They don't bite. You don't have to worry about it, and they're just wonderful.
What age are they now?
So these, believe it or not, these are probably about 2 years old.
Okay.
So smaller. This is all smaller growing stock.
You feed them how many times a week?
2 to 3 times a week at this size.
On the rodents?
Rodents, egg, a lot of meat, partially cooked meat, lots of egg, some fish, but pretty much, yeah, rodents, meat, and egg and fish.
Oh my goodness.
So this is T negative. Super, super smart and wonderful. And
About 40 kilo, 50 kilo?
I don't even know.
You don't
I don't even try to make him big. I've been getting rid of all my big stock. He's like 12 years old. You're a big boy. This is it. This is why I love him. You smell other monitors on my hand. He's excited. But you can develop a really wonderful long-term relationship with one of these guys. It's an urban dinosaur.
But I think from the eyes, to me, it looks like he's focusing with the eye. He's not blind or something.
He can see.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying they're more light sensitive.
Okay.
The T negative than the T positives.
You give them UV light?
No, I don't give them any UV light.
And also the other ones not, or?
You can. I don't, because the problem is the UV light sources, we like to spray the cages with water and we like to blow the light bulbs up.
Okay.
And Power Suns, the Zoom Ed Power Suns, which we love. I mean, they'll love that, but they're expensive, like $40, $50, $60. Psst, blow them up.
Okay.
And then yeah, so it's not something that I can easily.
Looks like so they don't totally need it. You supplement
because I supplement it. Yeah, I use the Zoom Ed
D3.
calcium with D3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, hier ein schönes Outro mit Kevin, dem Albino Water Monitor und mir. Thanks, Kevin, for showing me around your beautiful animals. Also I think it's kind of inspiration about the animal handling. I know some people say, oh, why you need to touch and handle the animals.
No.
And I know, von euch werden sicher einige dabei sein, die sagen, das braucht kein Mensch, die Tiere anfassen. Ich fand's inspirierend, wirklich. Ich fand's super spannend und bin mal gespannt auf eure Kommentare. Daumen hoch, wenn es euch gefallen hat, Kommentare da lassen. Thank you, Kevin, for giving me an audience. Das war jetzt ein Insider. I tried hard to get an audience with you.
Yeah.
We know each other 30 years, and I had to beg by email. Oh, let me.
But I was already. Yep, you come, no problem.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, Kevin. And
bye, guys.
See you back in. Hopefully not another 8-9 years.
Yes. See if I'm
earlier.
still around. Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.